Hi, Janelle here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. I hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful sunny day where I am. And in today's video, I want to share with you a superfood that I have been supplementing with for a long time, over 10 years. Take a look at that. Beautiful bee pollen. So before we get started, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment. Check out my description down below. I have my link tree, which links to everything that is me, including my courses, my home herbalist course, and a new course that I have on crafting a magical herb garden. You can also reach out to me via my website. I have a contact button. Go to my contact page, send me a message. Let me know if you want to be added to my newsletter or if you want to work with me. I do Zoom appointments, and all those services that I have are on my Facebook service tab. If you go to my Facebook button in my link tree, you can see those services. So let's get started with the video. So I would venture to say that most of us have a healthy fascination with bees and, of course, honey. And I became much more interested in honey and bees when we moved to the country, and we tried our hand at having our own hives without success. We tried a few years, but we do live near some farm fields that do spray rather heavily with chemicals. And my guess is that they were getting killed because of those pesticides. I'm not sure. That is kind of my guess. I would like to try again because since that time I have planted more flowers, more early spring flowers that the bees love. And when they have more plants and flowers in their area, they don't have to go as far and wide and hopefully not going into contaminated places. So I perhaps should try again. Near where I live is an apiary, and an apiary is a place where there are lots and lots of beehives and lots of honey and other products that come from the hive. So one thing that I have been buying for years, this is bee pollen. And so the bee pollen is the little bits of pollen that are collected by the bees that they take back to the hive. So they'll go from plant to plant, collecting the pollen on their feet, on their legs, and these little balls form, and then they take it back to the hive for food. And the beekeepers will collect that, the bee pollen, along with many of the other wonderful products from the beehives, and not to be confused with the royal jelly, the honeycomb. This is a totally separate food. It has like a citrusy kind of honey taste. And so I want to share with you some of the benefits of bee pollen. And I'm doing this because I recently had someone come into my shop and had no idea what bee pollen was. And I thought, well, I guess I'm taking for granted that I know what it is. So bee pollen has been called nature's perfect food. It has 96 known nutrients. There's no single food that offers the array of vitamins and minerals, proteins, amino acids, antibiotics, enzymes, trace elements, fats, and hormones than bee pollen. So it's like a perfect balanced food. Now, you do not eat a lot of it. For me, I take about 1 teaspoon at a time. And so I would like put it out on my hand. That's less than a teaspoon. And then I just eat it. I must give a warning. If you have severe allergies, I would definitely check with my, doctor before taking bee pollen. And what I would probably say is that if you have severe allergies in regards to anaphylaxis, stay away from the bee pollen. Talk to your doctor. If you have mild allergies, when I first tried bee pollen, I just took like a couple little grains, you can see, just a few grains at a time, just to taste it, just to get your body kind of used to, see how your body responds. Bee pollen is not recommended for children or for pregnant women, and it is not recommended for those who have severe allergies that would result in anaphylaxis. So it's a food for those that have a pretty sturdy, healthy immune system, something that's going to enrich what you already have. So bee pollen, what does it do? Why would I eat it? It helps with energy levels, endurance. It's a high source of rutin, which strengthens capillaries and the veins and capillaries, the part of the bloodstream. It corrects imbalances of deficient nutrition. So one thing that I offer my clients is a Zytocompass scan. I've talked about it in a few videos. It's galvanic skin response. You have your hand on a hand cradle, and I have it set to single herbs. One of the things that comes up is bee pollen in the scan, not for every person, but for me, it has come up quite a bit. And with having a history of digestive issues, I did not have proper absorption, so I often need foods that are like superfoods, really rich and dense in nutrition, so that my body is getting enough. I also have had food sensitivities, which from all the years of working with plants, I have remedied in many ways, much, much, much better. But with not being able to eat some foods, you don't always get all of the nutrition that you need. So again, that's why I worked with bee pollen. That's why I would supplement with it. I don't eat bee pollen every day, maybe a few times a week. And I can definitely notice a difference in energy and feeling like a full, satisfied feeling. When you have enough nutrients, your body kind of says like, okay, I'm not really hungry. It's that craving often for food can be tied to a lack of nutrition, a lack of enough nutritional supply in the body. So you're craving constantly food. When you eat like empty calorie food, you can eat like tons of it and you're like, I want more and more and more. But when you have something that's really dense in nutrition, a little bit goes a long way. So lastly, the bee pollen, like I said earlier, is collected on the bodies, on the legs of the bees as they go from one flower, one plant to another. It is also, it may include some bee saliva. And it is a really, I guess it might seem weird to some people, strange and weird, but really nutritious superfood. For me, I'd rather have this as my multivitamin than any multivitamin that is formulated basically in a lab. You want your multivitamins to be whole food. And when I say whole food, some people don't know what that means. Whole is, it's the whole thing. It's, you know, you have a food, let's say pomegranate, and it's maybe dried and ground up. Or you have carrot and it's dried and it's ground up, versus isolated minerals, isolated elements. Some multivitamins just use like rock minerals, and this the body does not absorb and assimilate. So whole food. Bee pollen. I will put a link down below for where you can buy bee pollen. This is an apiary. I might even put the address here in or the phone number that you can call, because they do take orders. So thank you so much, and come again soon.